Today, we're participating in the second round of the Aus-NZ Combined Open IndyCar Championship. This is Triple Crown Racing. Let's get into it. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Aus-NZ Combined IndyCar Open Championship. And round 2 of the championship takes us to the streets of Long Beach. Now, I'm sorry it's been a while since I posted a video from the Aus-NZ Combined IndyCar Championship. I have been quite busy with podcasts and the like, so finally we are back with some Aus-NZ Combined IndyCar stuff. Now, this would actually be a very important race, because this would be one of my last chances to score points for a while, because I'd be away for the rounds at Texas Motor Speedway and Road America, so I absolutely had to do well in order to finish anywhere good in the championship, as for the next 2 rounds I wouldn't be scoring any points at all. So we're just coming to the end of our run in practice. We're into the final sector now. We get a little bit loose off the exit of that corner, and now we are just about to head into the final hairpin down into first gear, and we power out onto the start-finish straight. So just coming up towards the line now. This should be a decent time. I think this is our best time in practice. We crossed the line with a 1 minute 8.6. Actually, no, we do actually go faster. This is now our fastest lap in practice, and we do a 1 minute 7.2, which is a pretty good lap, actually. And we'll just see where that puts us. So that's put us 3rd in practice, which is a really good result. If we can carry that sort of momentum into qualifying, we should get a good result. So Emu tops practice, followed by Cosmic Robbie, myself, Colonel Lloyd, Data Racer, Night Pegasus, Dark Racing, and Masuzo rounds off the grid. So now moving on to qualifying, we're in the final section of the track. Colonel Lloyd in 3rd actually has a grid place penalty, so if we can get a good time, we'll actually start ahead of him. And we're about to cross the line with a time of 1 minute 7.8, which is a bit slower than our time in practice, but we'll see if we can improve. We're currently in 4th, and we do a 1 minute 7.1, which puts us into 2nd place at the time, and we come 4th in qualifying, but because of that grid place penalty from Colonel Lloyd, we'll move up to 3rd. So it's Dark Racing, Emu, myself, Colonel Lloyd, Data Racer, Cosmic Robbie, Masuzo, and Night Pegasus rounds off the grid. Now, on to the race. We're in the final sector of the track now, and we're about to go green. We're starting from 3rd. We're in a prime position for a good result today. The lights are coming on. It's time to bring the action. Let's go racing in Long Beach. We've gotten a decent start, and we're all over the back of Emu in the number 6 car. We'll see if we can make a move on him in these first couple of corners. Our car does appear to be a bit faster than his is. We're 167 miles an hour as we enter the braking zone. We are very close to the back of Emu there. We're almost Emu, and we're actually almost crashing into the back of Emu. Now, we've gotten through the first couple of corners relatively cleanly. We're still on the back of Emu. We're looking for somewhere to get by, and our car does appear to be a lot faster than his is. So if we can find the space, we'll be able to make a move on Emu. Emu's run a little bit wide. We'll see if we can exploit that little bit of a mistake. Emu's covered it off nicely though, and now we're making another move down the inside, but there isn't quite room to get down the inside of Emu, and he's got it away from us a bit. Although our car does seem to be a lot faster than his. He's probably just driving defensive, and we almost crash into the back of him in the braking zone because we're just braking so much later than he is. Still on the back of him though, into the final corner, and he's gone very slow through there, and I've actually hit the back of him. We've lost our front wing, and there's absolute carnage in the first corner. There's 4 cars involved, and it's not good at all. We've lost our front wing, so we'll be diving into the pit lane, but it won't cost us too much time because a safety car has been called out. Now, fast forward to the end of lap 3, and we're in 5th place after the safety car, and we're about to go back to green flag racing, holding speed at 63 miles an hour, and we go racing again on lap 3. Now on to lap 4. We're on the back of Dado Racer, and we'll see if we can make a move on him in these next couple of corners. We'll see how everyone handles turn 1. We've broken later than Dado Racer, and somebody's gone into the wall there. It looks like Cosmic Robbie's lost his front wing, and he seems to be holding up this pack a little bit. We're still behind Dado Racer, and Night Pegasus behind us has a 10-second penalty, and there's a bit of front wing on the track there, so it looks like people are losing parts of their car, and we are under safety car once again. So we now fast forward to lap 6. We're in 3rd at the end of the safety car period, back where we qualified, and we're back racing. We are now behind Colonel Lloyd in the number 28 Andretti Autosport car, and we're once again on the run down towards turn 1. We have a bit more speed, 167 miles an hour again. We look like we're making a move on Colonel Lloyd, but we can't quite do it. Colonel Lloyd's gotten away from us a bit, and we are still trying to stay with the leading pack. We almost lose it there a bit. Dark Racing doing a very, very good job to lead this race so far, and we've gotten away cleanly on lap 7. Now, it looks like we're fast forwarding to lap 10 now, and we are just behind Colonel Lloyd, and we've lost our front wing. Just the slightest touch with the wall has made us lose our front wing, and now our car is absolutely undrivable. We've lost a lot of downforce just from a tiny, tiny touch. These cars are so fragile, and that is a very, very costly, a very small but very costly mistake. And it looks like we're about to lose another spot to Dado Racer. So Dado Racer just breezes by, and I believe that's the Ed Carpenter car. Now fast forward to lap 11, and we're about to lose a place to Cosmic Robbie as well. This car, there's a lot of understeer. We can barely get through the corners. Look how much lock we have to put on just to make this corner, and we are well off the pace, and we are losing time. We're down to 5th place, and now fast forward a few laps later onto lap 14 now. We've been pounding around with out front wing, and because of the aero damage that's been caused by this, we are actually getting engine damage as well, because the engine's not being cooled properly, and I risk actually blowing up this engine, and I know this now, so I've dived into the pit lane, and this is not good at all. This is an out of sequence stop. We didn't want to stop here, and as you can see, we're in the pit lane for more than 2 minutes, so we'll be exiting the pit lane multiple laps down. It's not good at all. This race has not gone to plan. We're in 7th place, many laps off the lead. Not good. So what do you do at this point? Well, you sure as hell don't give up. We're back up to speed now, and we have just set our fastest lap of the race, and we are overtaking Night Pegasus up into 6th place. We are trying to make this time back. We are doing qualifying laps, and now we are coming up to the back of Masuzo in 4th place, who is actually a few laps ahead of us, but we are right on the pace with Masuzo, so we'll try and squeeze through in these next couple of corners, and we are absolutely fighting to get back on the lead lap. Masuzo leaves a little bit of space, and we've taken it. We've gone down the inside. He is a few laps ahead, but we'll try and catch up to him. Fast forward later in the race, and it's an absolute miracle. Cars are on pit road because of an incident, and the safety car has just come out. Now, if you fast forward, we're on lap 23 now, and if you fast forward a little bit further, on lap 29, the safety car has come out, and despite the fact that we were 3 laps down, we are back on the lead lap and in 5th place. And we are actually ahead of Masuzo, who we lapped, and he was actually a few laps ahead of us. So we're about to go back to green now, and we go racing once again from 5th place. We're behind Colonel Lloyd in the Andretti Autosport car, who is behind Dado Racer. Colonel Lloyd's looking for an opportunity. We try to go to the outside, and Dado Racer's run wide. He's in the wall. Colonel Lloyd almost hits it as well, but we're going round the outside, and we are ahead in the fountain section. We're up into the podium places, but I think a safety car will be, yes, it has been called out. That's because of the damage that Dado Racer has picked up from that. Now, fast forward to the end of the safety car period at lap 32, and we'll be chasing down Cosmic Robbie, but I thought I had enough fuel to get to the end, but apparently I didn't, and I had to make a stop at the end of the safety car period. However, we were very close to going green again, so I'd actually have to move it if I was going to join the end of the pack by the end of the safety car period. And now on lap 33, these guys have already gone green and left me for dead. So now I have to actually try and catch up to them now. And we are pushing very hard to catch up to them, and that's not a very good thing, because that leaves us wide open for mistakes. However, we actually have caught up to the back of Dado Racer and Masuzo, and we might be able to get in on this, although now we'll be having to deal with the aero wash from these two cars in front, all while looking for space and trying to race these guys. My car doesn't seem to be very good in the dirty air at this point, and as you'll see in a second, we do get quite loose going through that corner under the bridge, and this car's a lot harder to drive in the dirty air, which is not good at all. Meanwhile, Masuzo and Dado Racer are still battling it out. Masuzo runs a little bit wide. We try to exploit the mistake, but he's managed to defend against us. Dado Racer up to 4th, Masuzo down to 5th, and we'll try and get through on Masuzo. We'll have the slipstream, but we won't be able to get past him. We're still on the back of Masuzo. Masuzo looks like he's going to run a little bit wide, but he doesn't leave any room. Masuzo's doing a very good job to defend and to keep up with Dado Racer. This car still is hard to drive in the dirty air, though. We're having to tiptoe around. As you can see, we're getting a little bit loose in, I believe that's turn 4. Still all over the back of Masuzo, though. We're still staying with him. I prefer to get past him soon, though, because I know this is a top 3 car, and again, we're getting loose, so this car's getting harder and harder to drive. Now, fast forward later in the lap, and we've spun out because of the dirty air. And after that comeback, this really, really hurts, and then I actually end up spinning later on in the race as well, and I've lost focus entirely. I'm just completely out of sync with my driving, and then a massive incident with the wall. That's a lot of damage. It will call out the safety car, and so I won't lose too much. I won't lose as much time as I would have done. However, when I pit to repair that damage, we ended up a lap down with only a few laps left and no opportunities for a safety car. We're about to go green again, and I know there's no real chance of us winning this race, but that still isn't going to stop me from putting up a fight. So we're now chasing down, I think this is Dado Racer in front of us, but it's only really a battle for track position. Dado Racer runs wide, and we make a bit of contact with him, but we manage to squeeze our way through, but it doesn't really mean anything, and we've actually spun out again, so I've even lost that track position to Dado Racer. I mean, this really stings after how well we did managing to make that comeback. I know we had a car that would have been able to finish in the top 3, and we don't have any opportunities to score points for a while, so that's not good at all. So we finished 6th, despite the fact I know we could have finished 3rd at least. So that really, really hurts. We fought back, we did really well, but it wasn't to be, unfortunately. Dark Racing takes victory, followed by Cosmic Robbie and Colonel Lloyd. Masuzo finishes 4th, which is a great result for him, followed by Dado Racer, myself, Night Pegasus, and Emu and Night Pegasus did not finish the race. So that was a hard one. That one really, really stung. It does show that you can come back as long as you don't make any mistakes, but unfortunately, no result. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.